Alright guys, so today's podcast is number 97 for the Via Alpha Music Podcast. This is your host, Pablo Ruiz Vargas. Make sure if you're listening to the podcast on YouTube, Rumble, and BitChute, you know what to do. Make sure that you share the content and like the content as well. You're listening to the podcast on Anchor.fm, Via Alpha Music Podcast. Make sure that you share the content with your friends. I'm going to really appreciate it. As well, if you're listening to the podcast in one of your favorite distribution platforms, make sure that you share the same with your friends. Now, today's podcast, yesterday we went a little bit dark, and we always keep a positive mentality when things go wrong, even when we are experiencing and what is important of those affirmations. Why is so important? And let me just very quick explain what is affirmations and why it is important to just have a belief system. Based on Google and Google.com and the testdrive.co, it helps you to set the record straight for yourself that you are ready to do what is necessary. Use disciplined affirmation to prime your mind to do what you must be. You must be ready and stay ready for the success that will inevitably come your way. So, a self-disciplined affirmation is basically you restructuring a new belief system, and that way, when things come around to be tested, those belief systems are strong enough, right? And there's hundreds of examples, right, of affirmations and things that you can help you out to restructure that belief system. And we can just go through a couple of these. Just to give you an example, you go to Google, of course, and you go to self-discipline affirmations. You're gonna is that you understand how does it work and why it's working. Imagine when you're listening to music and you're listening to people singing music, there's words, right? Those words are things that catch your mind. Now, of course, when your mind is catch or it got caught for certain things, you start repeating it, right? But people don't know or they don't understand is when you start repeating those words, you become those words, right? That's why certain people of certain genders, they act certain way, and some people of certain genders, they act certain way, okay? If you like to work in the metal scene, rock and roll, punk, thrash metal, hardcore, if you go down the list, you start recitating all those words from those bands, you start becoming someone different. Now, if you go to the other side and you start listening to hip hop, all that stuff, and you start recitating all those lyrics, you start becoming those lyrics, right? Because in order for you to just get to your soul, you have to just control your tongue, okay? That's why when you were a little kid, your mom used to say, if you swear, I'm gonna clean your mouth with a soap, right? Because every time that we just recitate, repeat, okay, express certain way, we are influencing our system, okay? So if you go to the stride, I used to just wake up every morning, every day, and read those affirmations. And as easy that sound, that was the hardest thing ever, right? That it's just restructuring who I am in that moment. So now I'm becoming something, right? And now I'm restructuring myself, okay? Now, let me make sure here that everything is good. The camera, those folks that are listening to the podcast got crazy, I must say. See, that's fine. It's like the CPU is kind of going crazy right now. Oh well. Alright, So basically, let me just, and I started doing a challenge with Mike, being great comedians, strictly content, right? And it only take, in my case, only takes 45 minutes for myself, right? My self affirmation was, you don't regret it tomorrow. I'm supposed to do this thing today, not tomorrow. Another self affirmation was, there's only one responsible for failure, and that is me. There's only one responsible for failure, and that is me. Okay? There's only one responsible for failure, and that is me. Okay? You start becoming go. I don't no, I have to be in present. I don't rely on other people's experience. I only count my own. They will tell me about these. Let me just know the truth. And to be honest, a lot of these stories, they were overhyped. Right? Things happen. Right? Take the first step and make things happen now. Right? And now you have to make it a present tense. I take the first step and make things happen now. Right? I take the first step and make things happen now. Okay? And another one is identify a trait, make it a present sentence, and just don't make it make it a third person, not third person. Third person, because that means that you make yourself accountable for saying those things, right? It's not the same. I'm gonna I do what needs to be done even when I don't feel like doing it. That's me right now. I mean, I'm doing this podcast, I'm doing the YouTube channel, I'm just working, I'm doing things in my mind and my emotions say do not do it. Even though my mind's saying like, don't do it, Pablo. I mean, do it tomorrow. Make sure that, helping me accomplish what I want. That's why I have to just take action and not allow the emotion to take over. This one's the hardest, right? You don't want to allow your emotions to take over. For the reason being is as soon as you allow your emotions to take over, right? Then you get into your head. When you get into your head, it's too late. Because the conversation that's supposed to be happening now, it's already happening over here. You lost. There's a 3-second rules, right? Let's say I set up everything and it's time to make a decision. I have less than 3 seconds, right, to determine whether I want to do that thing or not. I just plug in, do my research, bam, 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 and boom. I don't even think about it. I just go straight to it. Right?